Well, we once again, for the the third time in the past 10 years, the Abbey has completed a FLEP grant, which is the Forest Landowners Enhancement Program grant that's sponsored by the National Fire Protection Plan through the government, and then our state agency, the Department of Natural Resources, then divvies out the money. So we just got our next FLEP, our last FLEP just passed the other day. And one of our ceremonial endings of this 2-year endeavor of thinning and removing fuels and bringing the forest to health is that we do a massive burning of all the dead, diseased stuff up on the landing at the Abbey. And for the past, we had, well, the first one was a wildlife habitat FLEP, so that was separate. But for the last two, the past 4 years, we've had our former Fire Chief Chris Smith and his wife Janice come, and they help us because we feel very safe and secure with our someone who is an expert in fire prevention and fire knowledge. I mean, Chris is really amazing, the whole study of fire and how it works and how to take care of these huge piles and how to burn them safely. So Janice and Chris came up yesterday. We only had 7 piles this year. And this is a kindness. As a community, we are building our confidence as far as these burning, outside of where we're working in the forest. But having Chris and Janice here has been really helpful in us as a community to build our confidence that these controlled pile burnings are really helpful, and we don't have to put all that stuff up in the forest and try to figure out how to get rid of it. And Chris and Janice also are extremely knowledgeable. And so I was trying to integrate some of my Dharma practice in my time yesterday with them. So there's a few things that I would really like to share with you. First of all is their incredible kindness. These are 2 extremely busy people. They spend a lot of their lives promoting fire prevention education in the schools and the communities and senior citizen areas and stuff like that. And they have a very, very busy schedule, but they're always up for coming and helping us. So I've really been able to connect with their kindness and their enthusiasm for instilling knowledge into, especially communities like ours, where if anything should happen, either forest fire-wise or home fire-wise, we have Chris and Janice to really instill and impart a lot of knowledge. That's the first one. The second one is when you're looking at fire, it appears we know that it exists differently than the way it appears, but even on a conventional level, it exists differently than it appears. And so Chris gave me a little bit of a fire education yesterday, which was quite fascinating. Now, the appearance to all of us is when fire burns, it looks like the wood is burning. Well, in fact, if you look very, very closely, those flames are not anywhere touching the wood. What is actually burning through the process of the heat exchange is that the wood starts to heat up, and then the gases and the water start to expel. So when you see the flames on top of the wood, it's not actually burning the wood, it's burning the gases and the water and the trace minerals and things like that. And so the hotter the fire, the brighter the flame. And if there's so much gas coming off of the wood, these flames were shooting about 25 feet up in the air, and you could see the flames sort of grasping at the gases as it was going up into the air until it got too cool for the air to actually be ignited. So I'm looking at these fire piles last night as it's getting darker and darker, and these flames shooting up, and seeing the lack of any kind of solid material that the wood is actually made of. And like anything else in our phenomenal world, it looks like it's hard and solid and concrete, but it's nothing but carbon and oxygen and zinc and minerals and water. And so when it gets this heat thing going on, all this stuff starts to happen, but it's not happening the way in which it appears. So last night was really kind of cool to look at the lack of inherent existence of this fire pile, and also to see that during the course of the day, the way that the wind was blowing, the way in which the pile was built, the way that Chris torches it, he doesn't use any gasoline and things like that. He uses a propane torch. So to see all the causes and conditions that have to come together to make these piles actually ignite. And then you have to be very careful to keep an eye on them, because the wind started to blow yesterday, and even though we've had quite a bit of snow, to see how the causes and conditions for the pile to exist, to see the disintegration of the piles due to the fire. So as time goes on, the piles collapse, and then the pile gets smaller and smaller, the fire gets brighter and brighter, until there's no more pile of wood. So you can see the disintegratedness of this apparently solid mass of fuel by with all of these different types of causes, conditions coming together. And then when the cause and conditions cease to exist, the pile is no longer there. So it was really awesome. And this morning I went up and checked, and there were a few embers and a few things still smoldering, but the piles are definitely non-existent. So just a reminder about, you know, how things look to us is one way, and even though the ignorance in our own mind sees them as truly existent, even on a conventional level, we have to kind of look at them more closely to see how they exist. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, and once again to thank Janice and Chris for their enthusiasm and their joy in coming and helping me happy.